Welcome to Me and You Outside. I'm down here on a lake called Stockton Lake here in Missouri. I'm in the part of the lake that is real flat, and so the lake has gone down a whole bunch. This used to be covered under lake water, and it will be probably after our huge rains we get in the spring, but they haven't happened yet. So the water starts right here. Of course, then it goes on down there to the big part of the lake. But all of this right here, it used to be underwater, and I'm just exploring it. I'm looking for cool things, and I find this kind of thing on these lakes like this when they go low. You just don't know what you're going to find. Here's a little kid's toy. Look at that. Sitting there deep in the mud. Wow. Fish probably hover around that when the lake's up, so I'm not going to touch it. When I explore dry lakes like this, or dried up areas of lakes, I notice things. I notice things that people would look at and not think a thing about it. But see, like this stick right here? People look at that and go, oh, there's just a stick. But I look at that and I know what that is. That is a beaver chewed stick, okay? A beaver chewed that. You can see his teeth marks in that right there. That's teeth marks right there. And a beaver chewed that, okay? Now, again, it's not a big deal. It's just that a lot of people look at that and go, oh, there's a stick. But I look at that and go, huh, a beaver did that. Just kind of interesting. I just notice all these things, take note of it. Another thing that I see and I take note of are turkey tracks. And that right there is a turkey track. You can see one toe there, and the other toe right here. That middle toe sinks in pretty deep in the mud. That tells me that's a turkey. A crane, a blue heron, goose, none of them, that middle toe doesn't sink that deep. When you see it sink that deep, there's several of them here, you know that's turkey right there. Turkey, all these are turkey tracks. Again, I just take note of that. May have turkey hunt down here. Again, just things you find along the lake. Seen this right here and thought, what in the world is that? And I figured it out. I haven't touched it yet. But this, see that? That was the bottom of a pop bottle. Somebody filled it with concrete, put this here ring in here, and they used it for a trot line weight. That's hard as a rock right there. They poured that with cement. And that's the bottom of the Coke bottle right there. And of course they tear the plastic off when you do that. But that is what that is. I probably will carry that back with me because I'll use it for the same thing they used it for, actually. I'll put that on a trot line. This person had a boat here, which I don't, I'm walking. Some people keep things like this right here. That's an old beaver chewed log right there. See how it's rounded on top? Teeth marks right there. That is cool. It's heavy. It's been sitting in water. It's soaked. It's probably, who knows how old that is. That has been floating in there for years. That's pretty cool. Yeah, like I say, some people keep that. There's another one there. Same thing, beaver chewed. Who knows where they chewed that? That could have floated here for miles across this lake. It's just hard to say. Found something here that is very interesting, and some other stuff that's interesting too. But this is an interesting thing I found here. And what this is, I'm not sure, but let's look at this. Now I'll tell you what I think that is, okay? I think that's a grave. I do. This right here is a big rock. In fact, I know it's a grave. Oh my goodness, looky here. Engraved on the top of that is a cross. Oh wow. Now that is interesting. Oh my goodness. Folks, I'm telling you, that's a grave from who knows when. Again, this is always underwater since 1961, 62. This has been lake water, and it goes up and down, but I have never seen this before, ever. This is a grave. There's not a doubt in my mind. Somebody took time to carve that cross in that grave. That's that stone right there. They sure did. Wow. And that stone is actually sitting on top of another stone down there. Well, who knows from when that grave was put there. Oh my goodness. Well, that's interesting. See if I can find some more stuff. I'll take note of that. When you realize something about most of these lakes, this was all farmland, and there was probably a house back up in here somewhere. But this would have all been farmland. This bottom right here is creek bottom. They probably plowed it. In fact, there's evidence right here. This is an old bottom plow right there. That's what that is. For deep plowing. Yep, that's heavy, and that's old. Good night. I would say they pulled that with the horses. I just about bet money on it. That's cool. I'm looking at something here. I don't know if this is a rock. Nope. That was an old gourd. Look at that. It looked like a rock, but kind of funny. Spotted something quite a ways off, actually. I haven't been up to it yet, but check this out, would you? Crossbow. Huh. Somebody lost a good arrow right there. Well, guess what? I'm gonna take that arrow because I shoot a crossbow. I'm glad to have it. It's a Beamer. A Beeman. The Beeman. Those are pretty good arrows as far as I'm concerned. It's got a Muzzy 4-blade on there. I probably never use that for anything. Maybe shoot a turkey or something, but that's good fun. Spotted something in the mud here. Don't know what it is. I have an idea. It's some kind of farm equipment from days gone by. I don't know. I think it has something to do with horses. Pulling horses. That is interesting. I almost know it is, like a horse would be hooked onto this right here. There's rings on both sides of this right here. And it would do 2 horses. There's a second one right there. Maybe a third one. Wow, that's cool. That is cool. Same thing, got hooks on both ends. If anybody knows what that is, please tell me. I'm pretty sure it's what that is. Horse is hooked to that. More of a story there in there. Some history right there. Man. Again, just more proof that this was farmland in this old dried up area, this lake. That grave is right down there. What's interesting about that grave is the tombstone is like, the grave is almost this way and the tombstone is in the middle of the body. That's the way it looks. And then they may have done that for a reason, I don't know. But here's an old disc right here. Oh my goodness. It's attached to, good grief, a whole arm. That's got the arm and everything attached to it. Look at that. That's old. Again, this land hasn't been farmed since 1960. That's probably the last year it was farmed, was 1960. So that's been here at least that long, and maybe longer. That's heavy right there. That's heavy. Clean that up, it'd be kind of cool. Again, just for kicks, the average person probably wouldn't pay any attention to what I'm going to show you here, but it's interesting to me. And I'll tell you what it is. It's otter scat. Otter will not poop in the water. Okay, a beaver will, but an otter won't. An otter will come out, he'll come up on the bank, and he will poop up all of these scales that you see right here, all these fish scales, and any part of that's not digestible, which is fish scales. And if they eat crawfish, the shell of the crawfish is not digestible for them either. Okay, and it's all over here. There is scat, otter scat, piles of it around through here. Now, you may ask, why do I care about that? Well, this tells me there's quite a few otter in here. And next year, when trapping season opens, I may have to come down here and thin them out. All that white stuff you see is fish scales. That's cool. Well, that's some interesting stuff right here. I'm kind of getting back to civilization here as far as near the bridge. I did find my two treasures that I will keep, and that is that arrow right there. I'll keep that, and I'll keep that weight back there. But the memorable things that I found on this trip, in my opinion, is the farm equipment. I think that was pretty cool. And, of course, that grave. That is an interesting thing right there. There's a story there. Oh, I'd love to know what that story is about that individual. But there's a story there, and it's obviously a sad one. But somebody cared enough to put a rock there and carve a cross in that rock. I think that was just pretty cool. But, regardless, hey, I appreciate you watching this episode of Me and You Outside. I always appreciate you being here. Appreciate you subscribing. Like this video if you wouldn't care. Comment if you want to, especially about that one farm equipment that I found. I don't know what some of that is. I think that has something to do with pulling horses, pulling farm equipment. But somebody could probably tell me that. Some of you people seem to know everything. So, anyways, make a comment if you would about all that, and like this video. Share this video if you would. I'd appreciate it. Subscribe. Thank you so much. But my friends, wherever you're at in this world, have a good morning, good day, good night. And there is another video coming right around the corner.